on, let's get it. It's showtime, it's showtime. It's lights, cameras, action. It's showtime, it's showtime, it's showtime. You can get this work, it's showtime. No more lip service, it's time to make it happen. Gun club, Goodie, pimpin' them head to tail captain. Papi got it slapping like a wild beast savage. This ain't black magic, boy, I get it from my daddy. Big dog status, beware of the owner. Independent major, boy, I do what I want.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This 216 DJ Papi, and we got the legendary Khujo, Goodie in the building.
Yo, what's happening? Y'all already know what time it is. Dirty South, man. And guess what, man? I got my OG kinfolk in the house right now. ATL's finest, fofo. Mojo, what's happening, OG? What it
What's
do,
happening,
baby?
What's up, family? You know we found, baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
DJ Pop.
What's happening?
Yeah, man.
Man, we had to get you up here, bro. I was telling my kinfolk, I like, yo, man, we got to holler at goddamn Mojo, man. I got to be there, man. And man, goddamn, man, you on deck, bro. And
it's an honor, man.
Love it, bro. Love it, man.
It's an honor, man.
For sure, for sure. You want to start it off, man?
Yeah, so listen, man. Mojo, you know, man, I heard something through the grapevine, man, when you first dropped in 82.
Okay.
Man, was that true that your song was down here charting next to Marvin Gaye's?
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, cause back then you had, when you bought records, we had record stores.
True that.
So you had to walk in a record store and get records.
Yeah.
So we was, when people was going in to get Marvin Gaye, they would pick up a Mojo record.
Wow.
And, and that's how we kept up with it, and we knew that it was going neck and neck, And of course, after that, when we did Jump, Stop, and Twist, it went further out, and it went all the way to number 2 to Michael Jackson. I always feel like somebody watching me.
Man, that's huge.
Yeah.
What, man?
Yeah, but glad to be here, man. And I know you got questions for me, but I just want to clarify some things that I heard that was in the news, and I don't know if you guys have it, but and I have great respect for Mr. Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Uncle Luke.
Okay, I think I know what you finished off.
And I was told that he had made a comment that he was the first.
He started Southern hip hop.
He started Southern hip hop.
Right.
And everything is documented. And I have a lot of respect for Luke, 2 Live Crew, and all those guys.
Yeah.
But the numbers it doesn't add up, because he came out in 85. I came out in 82. And if you go to BMI, because they keep up with everything. So it's documented that Let Mojo Handler came out in 82 and Luke Skywalker. So he just misrepresented the truth in that. So I just wanted to just...
You know what? I seen that post, and he was kind of like hot about that, you know what I'm saying? He said 40 years, you know what I'm saying, of creating Southern hip hop. Yeah. And a lot of people was going with that, you know what I'm saying, going with that narrative, but I don't think that even Luke even knew about you, or even came to this neck of the woods to even, you know what I'm saying, to even see. It was like you said, 85. Man, I mean, that's Southwest Middle School out there when I was in 85, you know what I'm saying? So no, I'm glad you cleared that up, man, because a lot of people running with that narrative, bro.
Right. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm sure when he came out in 85, he got more national representation.
True that. Right.
You know what I mean? When you talk about Atlanta hip hop, yes, I was the first rapper in Atlanta, but Goodie Mob was the first one to get national representation. And I mean that's documented. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, we had some hot acts in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right.
But Goodie Mob was on record as being the first one to really put Atlanta on nationally.
You're talking Southern hip hop. Yeah. I mean, shout out to LaFace Records, you know what I'm saying, L.A. Reid, because when we went major like that, you know what I mean, that definitely put us out of, you know what I'm saying, out of the country to other countries. You know what I mean? So yeah, big up to them organizing us too for that. But I'm glad you cleared that up, home team. So now I can stick my chest out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, someone from the radio station WRFG, Power Lord, he sent me the thing from his show on the radio, and he addressed it. He spent 10, 15 minutes addressing it to his audience because they had a lot of people had came on, you know. But I appreciate when people come to my defense like that. It's just the truth.
True that.
You know, it's just the truth, you know. And the truth is, I don't think anyone in the South had a song that was played on the radio, published.
Yeah, okay.
You know, in 1982.
See that, and I'm wondering now. I do remember hearing that too now. So I'm wondering if like Luke probably had like music and it wasn't like you said published. Maybe the people in Miami only knew that at the time,
right?
But it's not published. Like you said, you got records from BMI.
Right,
you know
right. And if you look at it now, if you look at the geography and you look at Atlanta back then, you know, we didn't get it. I mean, you know, we had Peabo Bryson, you know, we had SOS, we had Brick.
Yeah.
But you know, we had Cameo. We had them, but we didn't get a lot of attention in Atlanta, and especially hip hop. Oh no, you know, it's like New York, and it was like New York and nobody else.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It was like New York and nobody else.
Right.
So when I was open for Run DMC, when they first came here, all the New York guys, shoot, man, they were not really happy about what I was doing.
So how did Run DMC, what they do? Came here, heard you on the radio, was like, we got to find this guy. Who's this?
Well, at the time, at the time, I was the hottest thing in Atlanta. Okay, so when people came in, when promoters was bringing them here, they wanted to get the hottest person in Atlanta. So I opened for them, and believe it or not, when Run DMC first came in here, they didn't come to a Coliseum. Now they came to the Libra Ballroom in Kirkwood.
Oh man!
You know? And that's where I opened for them at. And when they first stepped foot in Atlanta, that's when I met Russell Simmons and all them at. But it was Libra Ballroom. And then the second time they came here, they came to the VIP Lounge on Piedmont, close to Buckhead, and I opened for them in those two places.
Wow.
And of course, after them, they started the Fresh Festival, and they started coming to the Omni.
That's when I seen Curtis Blow, Houdini. When they had the Fresh Fest, that was about like what, 84, 85?
Yeah, right in
like
84, between 84 and 85. I think a little bit before 85, like 84.
Yeah, okay. So because they came, I didn't know at that time that they was doing promotional shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They just happened to come by Southwest Middle School. They came by some other schools, but when they came through, then I didn't know it was the Fresh Fest. I like, what the hell y'all niggas doing here? The Fat Boys came too.
Fat
you know what I'm
Boys,
saying? So
yeah.
No, we got down real.
But they came in and out. I mean, at that time, anytime those New York guys would come here, they would come through. They would come through Mojo. I mean, the Fat Boys and all them. You know, I remember Fat Boys up and down the floors of Clark College with a buggy, pushing a buggy like little kids. You know, I remember LL when he was 16 when he first stepped foot in Atlanta.
Okay.
We was doing in stores. We was doing a show. And the promoter had picked all us up in a van, white van. I got in the van, I looked in the back, and they introduced me with LL. He was 16, and he had a big boom box. And the whole time we rode around Atlanta to in stores, and y'all young folk don't know what in stores is. That's when you go to record stores and you promote.
I missed that, man.
I missed that.
Yeah.
You know, so me and LL, all us, we rode around and did in stores, and LL was very quiet.
Cool? He was
he was very quiet.
He probably sold up.
Yeah, he was very quiet because he was young at the time.
That was all new to him.
Yeah. He was real young. He you know. You know, he was one of those guys that be real quiet, but then when they give him the mic and you hit the stage,
he got it going on.
Yeah,
man. So man,
interesting, man.
Hold on, Joe. I gotta get this one right.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking back, man, 82. I don't know what's going on. I just know studios and stuff was expensive back then. Like, so how did y'all come up with the with the who like the tracks and stuff, like was y'all like rapping over other people's music back then, like some R&B stuff, or like, or did you start off like doing mixtapes and stuff like that?
No, not with me because for the simple fact that I'm a musician. You know, came up in high school band and in the drum section and all that. So I mean, I knew about creating music. Big shout out to Haywood Recording Studio.
Damn, Haywood. Wow.
Yeah, and you missed it, but they just had a big appreciation for Haywood like 2 weeks ago at Ebenezer. And
where was Haywood? Was it out Cascade?
No,
Okay.
MLK, right where the Chick-fil-A is now, right next to that, where Mr. Everything and all that is, right there. Haywood, you remember Sellers Brothers Funeral Home? It was next door to that.
God, yeah.
Yeah, but
I remember hearing about Haywood.
yeah,
Studio.
and you know, he had an 8-track. So when I did Let Mojo Handle It, when I did the demo for Let Mojo Handle It, I did it on an 8-track at Haywood.
Wow.
At Haywood Studio, and of course when I took it to producers and they assigned me, they took me to a bigger studio.
Okay.
But a bigger studio was a 16-track. But
Right.
but we had some heavy hitters, all live music. And to go back to your question, no, I did rap over bounce, rock, roll, skate, and all that. I mean, I did raps over that, but when it came to recording, no, I created my own music. I created my bass line. I created my drum line. I told the guitar player what I needed from him.
Okay.
You know, so you know that we all gelled together because of my first song. There was no drum machines.
Yeah.
82. I mean, drum 808 came out by 84. When Run DMC and them came, when they got popular, the 808 got popular.
True that.
You know, so.
But all that together?
Oh yeah, we was. I mean, individually.
No, that sounds like some organized noise shit. I mean, you got the bass in there. You feel what I'm saying? Got somebody playing the drums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got your shit, if you got some
Guitar
acoustics
players, you got your horn players.
Wow.
You know, you got your live horn players. You
Yeah.
know, you got that. That's the way you had to create. You created. That's where you.
So
create.
let me ask you: Did you know that Curtis Mayfield had his studio
I did.
in Southwest Atlanta?
Listen,
You know
man.
about that?
I lived in that studio, man. I lived in that studio. Actually, my song, and it's on YouTube now, Only in America, which was done on Gold Key. I did that after Jump Stomp and Twist. It wasn't as big as Jump Stomp and Twist. Didn't too many people hear it, but I did that song at Curtis Mayfield Studio.
Wow.
And I used to go back and forth with Carlos.
Glover.
Carlos Glover.
Yeah, I know. Old pimp, Carlos Glover.
I hadn't seen him in a while. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah,
Shout out to Carlos Glover.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I used to go over there, and he used to mix there. So we used to go back and forth. But I was at Curtis Mayfield house probably more than he was.
Wow.
Because I never met him.
Right,
But
right.
I know, but I used to be at his house all the time.
So we just have his.
He had
open for everybody?
well, he would have somebody running the studio.
Yeah, Glover used to do a little engineering in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
Glover did the
yeah.
engineering, and he would have different engineers come in there doing things, but he was never there.
Man,
You know.
I didn't know you had blessed that spot because we definitely did some of our first recording in Curtis Mayfield studio.
What year was this? You say late '80s, early '90s?
Yeah, this was early '90s. This was early '90s, maybe like '93, something like that. Maybe '92, '93.
I didn't know they were still operating.
Man, we was just in there like, oh man, God, man, because it's his. I think it was his son that was. He might have been running it then. But you're right. I never seen Curtis come up in there. Gibb said he seen him up in there one day.
I never seen Curtis.
But,
never seen.
we
Curtis.
stayed up in there.
Jumpsuit.
Huh? Yeah.
Soul food.
Yeah.
Now I tell you another studio that you might have touched. You remember Eddie Irons that played for drums for Brick? A lot of people would go to his studio, which wasn't far, which was on the south side as well. And I think T.I. them somebody from the '90s went up in there. Yeah, Eddie Irons. He's the drummer. He was the drummer for Brick.
Okay, well shit. That's I know Sleepy should know that.
Oh yeah, Sleepy definitely.
Yeah, I know Sleepy probably was all up.
Yeah,
in that
Sleepy
motherfucker.
know, you know, and Sleepy keep me informed because my first song, Let Mojo Handle, of course we had all live instruments. So my bass guitar player was Skin from the SOS band because my manager, he knew everybody. He knew everybody. So he played the bass guitar, Amber from the band Brick played keyboards on Let Mojo Handle. And if you play the song right now,
No wonder why that shit would have
yeah,
man.
yeah, and he was, that was Amber, the one that put that little keyboard, keyboard part in there.
Wow.
And Sleepy, the one told me that he had passed about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you say, Sleepy,
yeah.
keep me. If
Keep
you want to know
informed on
something,
that. Yeah, boy.
if you want to know something about Brick, what's up, Sleepy?
Fact, bro. That's awesome, man. You got something else?
I mean, I got a lot, man. I'll let you go and get one in, man. Uzi, ready to let him go.
I just kind of wanted to know, man, like what was the Atlanta music scene like around '82? You know what I'm saying? As far as hip hop, or did we even have a hip hop scene in '82? Was there anybody else, or how was that?
Okay, well, the hip hop scene in '82 was all New York. So we was I mean, Sugar Hill Gang,
Right, yeah, okay.
Grandmaster Flash,
Right,
that was Atlanta hip hop. You know what I mean? That's what we played. That's what we played. Of course, Rapper's Delight, the first song to go national.
True that.
To go national, hip hop song to go national.
Right.
And so we was. I mean, we bang. I mean, we was in '82. We was on all of it. We was on all of it. And it's
The world was.
and
That's all you heard on the radio.
Yeah. And if you listen to my song from 1982, you'll hear everything that was in those songs that was coming out of New York. It was like bass lines that was coming out. You had the party noise in the background where you would just we had the kazoos. Everything that was coming out of New York that was working. Everything that was working in New York, I tried it on Let Mojo Handle. From the hand clapping, to the kazoos, to just going through the whole track and everybody just party, party, through the whole track, the party noise. So everything. I mean, I was influenced from the New York.
Everybody was, man.
Hell yeah. For sure.
Everybody was. So when you did that, did you ever put a video out for it?
No, man. We barely had pictures.
Listen. Listen. So last week we had Young Bleed here, right?
I got the chance to meet him last week.
Yeah. We
at the play. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I gave him his props, man. I don't know if anybody else did it, but Young Bleed was one of the first that I seen do it. He had some bangers on his album that he never did a video for.
Yeah.
Finally did it.
Yeah.
And man, it just ran the numbers all up again. It was one of them songs, make it better than last time.
Right.
We did that.
I can believe that.
I think that you should do a video to that, man. Like right now, in music, hip hop, man, we need some of that feel good dance music.
That's it.
And I promise you, I believe it. Man, I think that thing will go all up.
Hey man, the sky's the limit. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I never thought about. I mean,
I'm saying
to that level.
I'm like, this was missing.
Right.
Some real good music, people dancing.
Right, but that's it, man. I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way I go, and y'all probably got it on anything, but just like I said before, when the business, when hip hop world started changing, and of course Luther went and sued and said that he could say whatever he wanted to say, and once people started saying whatever they wanted to say. I always say, the lady worked at a record store on Decatur Street, Third World. She told me, she said, Mojo, the hip hop is changing. You got to start cursing. You got to start doing this. You got to start getting raunchy and all this here. And she saw records. So she saw the flow. You know what I mean? Of course we don't have record stores out anymore, but she knew what was, what was coming in and out. You know.
I'm telling you from I'm a DJ. I can DJ for anybody, but I'm
Right.
telling you right now,
Right.
man, go on and do a video. You ain't got to do it the way you did it.
No.
Just record it now,
Mhm.
and I bet you everybody in Atlanta pulling up.
Man,
'Cause you ain't got
I
to do it.
never thought about that, but we
You
gonna
gotta do it.
we
man.
gonna.
Just let me be the DJ in a minute.
Okay, I got you.
Right,
This is, baby.
Let me get up in there, put my arm around
Man, like, history repeat itself, man.
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
right.
I promise you about to get a whole good run.
Believe it.
in.
Yeah,
And now
I appreciate you
and now
saying
with
that.
social media,
Yeah.
man, that thing gonna touch everybody.
Look,
I can
look.
see people in Cali because when I hear it, like we skate to it.
Right.
That's why I told them earlier. I'm like, man,
Right.
we skate to that, man.
Right.
It's like it's funky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And man, right now,
Yeah.
man.
But you know, I mean, just like my song "Stompin' Twist," "Jump Stompin' Twist," you know, it was nationally ready. It was ready to go national.
Right.
You know, it was like it was ready to go, but one thing happened. It just didn't go. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, as far as management.
Right.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Some decisions that got made.
Yeah.
You know, right when it was at the doorstep.
Right.
But I mean, hey, it wasn't meant for me. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. It wasn't meant for me when I was 19, 20 years old. You know?
Let me ask you this, Mojo. I hear you. I heard you. I think tell the story. I think it was 404. The guy that runs the 404 thing. I was wondering about. Well, you had already said something about it. How people wanted you to change your style. You know what I'm saying? But you said something like, man, you know, the type of music that you was making was like dance music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I found that interesting, man, because a lot of people would say that the South music is like booty shake music or whatever, but the music that you was making, it made you dance. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just wanted to know, like where did that come from? You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Well, if you look at the era where
Right.
we came from, I'm gonna tell you a difference right now. You know, we came from an era where we danced.
okay,
We
Right,
danced.
right.
I mean, if you go to a party, you might get the slow drag maybe
Right.
3-4 times, but
Right.
most of the party you're dancing.
Already,
yeah, you know.
Right.
You know, and of course being a choreographer for Washington High Band, I used to have them dancing.
Shout out to
You
Washington
know,
High, bro.
yeah, Bigger T, Washington High.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I just only did dance music. You know, I just couldn't. I can't. I mean, I can do whatever you know, but my main thing is dance music. You know, getting people up on the dance floor. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you different. You go in the club right now, you do not see couples on the dance floor like it was. You would see man and woman on the dance floor. Now, the whole floor is doing.
Doing this.
They doing the electric slide.
The fan, they pop with the
yeah,
fan.
yeah. Everybody doing their little hustle.
They dancing with that now.
Yeah, everybody everybody doing their little.
hip-hop.
Yeah, but you don't see like one-on-one dancing.
Yeah, right.
You know. Yeah, all that.
So
You
you
know.
may tell me the women and the guys was kind of like dancing together. I'm talking about not
Yeah.
slow music,
Damn good.
but like
Fast
we
music.
talking
Yeah.
we talking like Soul Train, how they dancing on Soul Train.
Yeah, I mean that, man. I mean, you walk in Charles Disco Lounge or
I remember
whatever.
Charles
You know, you walk in Charles Disco Lounge. You just walk around. They play something. Hey, baby, you want to
One
dance?
dance, wow.
Boom, you go.
Wow.
You get on the dance floor.
I remember Charles.
You know what I mean? You know, and if you're lucky, you might get 2-3 dances. You know,
really?
back to back. And you get, you already know.
Well, I used to stay behind Charles Disco in
But I
Chapel
know-
Road, Chapel Forest.
You stayed in Chapel Forest?
Yep,
Wow.
I stayed in Chapel Forest, yeah.
I dated a girl over there. Well, you know, I dated a girl. It was a long time. This had to
Yeah,
be like,
Chapel Forest,
they were
yeah,
probably
right.
77. I was going to Kennedy. Yeah, I was going to Kennedy.
I remember Kennedy.
Yeah, I was going to Kennedy. I dated a chick. Then shout out to them. They still doing well. But yeah, Chapel Forest. I know about Chapel Forest. You know, I know
Chapel
about.
Forest, yeah.
But you don't remember when the skating rink was right there?
Yeah.
West Side
Well,
Roller Rink.
You know what? It wasn't open when I was living there. Me and my brother used to just go through the ruins because it was shut down then. We
had shut
it
down.
was shut down, man. The roof was caving in.
Oh,
Man,
so
my
you don't remember when it was
I don't even
operational?
remember. I was too young when it was operational. Cause my mom wanted. I was too damn young. I had to be in the house before the lights came on.
Were you at Chapel Forest at the time?
I don't. You know what? I had to ask my mama, was the skating ring open while we was living in Chapel Fire? Because if it was, I didn't recognize, because I didn't even really go that way a lot. You know what I'm saying? I went down toward Hollywood Road,
Okay.
Bankhead. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So no, it wasn't.
It was late 70s. It closed down pretty early though. I think it closed because it was closed before I started doing my thing.
Wow,
damn. It had to be like late 70s when they closed. West Side Rolling Rink.
Then they opened up old crazy ass Charles.
They probably right after the rest. They closed up Charles.
My partner uncle owned that Charles. He owned Charles Disco.
Okay, not Charles. Charles himself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know Charles.
Yep.
Y'all know Charles and his brother.
Yep. Yep.
Bless their soul, man.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I know Charles, man. Charles would let me in. I probably wouldn't know more than 14, 15.
Man.
Charles didn't check no ID.
Man, they was selling bull up in there, blue bull. Blue bull malt liquor. When I was up in there, boy, they served blue bull up in there, boy. The knockout man contest, all that up in there.
But one thing about it, see, at that time it was 18. You know, you 18, you could do whatever you want to do. You could drink, you could buy beer, you can go in the clubs, everything.
Wow, yeah.
So when you 15, they ain't come
tripping.
on in.
They ain't tripping.
18 was legal age down here.
Yeah,
back then?
yeah. They didn't change it till about 82. They changed it to 19, and then like 84, they changed it to 21.
Wow.
That shit like Canada, man.
Yeah, it was following me because when I turned 18, they changed it to 19, and when I turned 19, they changed it to 21. You know, like
I'm watching you.
yeah, it did stop. It did stop.
Let me get one more in.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, man, how did you meet Shy-D? You know what I'm saying? And what was your relationship with Shy-D?
Shy-D, you know, Shy-D at the time, Shy-D was breakdancing.
Yeah.
You know, he was breakdancing at the time, and Shy-D would just, you know, he would always come to my events. You know, wherever I was, he would come to my, you know, he tells the story that he told at my crates, but that just show you how close we were at the time, you know. And and like I say, he was, you know, he would be, you know, he would be wherever I went, and, you know. Then of course we went to Montgomery to open for Nucleus.
Oh,
Wiki.
Oh, wow.
And I was the opening act, and Shy-D then was dancing. They was break dancing. Shy-D was a heck of a break dancer.
Yeah.
And they were break.
Shy-D was New York, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He brought all that down here with him. And when we got to Montgomery, he asked me to, you know, hey man, let me come on stage, and then let me come on stage. And I let him come on stage with me. And it seemed like after that he got a taste of it, and
yeah, man.
he didn't. he left the break dancing alone. And the rest is history.
For sure.
Yeah. But he was like a little pro. He was like a protege, man.
That's what's up. I mean, you coming from New York, and you new in a whole nother city.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You on that vibe. You know what I'm saying? And you recognize what's going on. It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I need to be near this guy so I can either soak up some knowledge, you know what I'm saying, some experience or something like that. You feel what I'm saying?
And see, that's one thing I can say about Shy-D. He never did look at me, you know, oh man, you know, like some of them, some guys, oh man, who's this country dude, man, down here, you know, this country dude down here, do this, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, he didn't look at me like that. He respected what I was doing because, you know, say whatever you want to. I was the hottest thing in Atlanta.
True that.
Since General Sherman had came through here, you know, at that time, you know, I mean.
You said General Sherman?
Yeah.
Who that?
General Sherman, he the one burnt down Atlanta, man. You remember the big fire?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You talking about the Phoenix and everything. That's what I meant. Okay.
Hey, man, but you know that's an expression, the hottest thing since General Sherman, because General Sherman came through and burnt down the whole city.
Word.
Yeah, you gotta Google it, man. Gotta Google it. Yeah.
I heard you say another thing, man, and it made it really it was an eye opener for me. You said that You said that you mentioned the Wayne Williams situation. You know what I'm saying? Where we had curfews or whatever.
Right.
I was a little boy. I was a little boy when that was going on. You feel what I'm saying? But you kind of made you peaked my eyebrow. You said it was a curfew, so really wasn't nobody out. So it wasn't you couldn't jam, you couldn't go record nothing, man. You couldn't have no fun. And then you was like, after that was gone, like in '82, like when you came out, that's kind of like when the city started opening back up. You feel what I'm saying? Man, that's some history right there.
You know, and I didn't, you know, a lot of things that went on back then. Cause like I say, back then I wasn't thinking nothing about. 40 years later, people be saying, "Man, you know, you the first rapper in Atlanta." I ain't wasn't thinking nothing like that, you know. So, you know, and when I did the thing for VH1, the Untold Story of Atlanta Rising Hip Hop, produced by Ludacris, and the people from California, they was doing research, and they brought it to my attention that, you know, the timeline, you know, was that. You know, because Wayne Williams, well, I don't really want to use his name because I don't, you know, but he was convicted in February of '82, and I came out later that year in November of '82.
Okay.
So they put it together. It's like, well, okay, well, and then I thought about it, say, well, you're right, you know, because we was all on edge, you know, at that time, you know, and there was a curfew. And, I mean, it wasn't no, I mean. Yeah. I mean, you had to be off the street, but it was easy to do it then because it was only 900,000 people here.
Yeah, that's, you put it in perspective. 900,000 people.
It was 900,000 people here, and that's according to Darlington. Anybody know about Darlington? It's right on P Street, across from Piedmont Hospital, and they've been having the population of Atlanta since I've been knowing. Right. And I never forget in '82, I looked up there and that thing said 900,800. You know, so it was, you know, it was a small city, so I mean, they was able to control, especially inside the city and on the west side where we were. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. You know. So we had, it was.
That's down there where everything was happening at on the west side.
Yeah, on the west side, because you know, bodies they were finding in Chattahoochee River. You know, boom. Right. Yeah.
I still think they got that thing all wrong.
Well, we'll never know. But the only thing we do know is that, you know, it stopped.
True that.
You know what I mean? Now, whatever.
Well, it didn't stop after he got locked up. It's some other stuff had still went down, but then it stopped.
Yeah. So, like, so we didn't. Nobody really knows, and just a little side note on. Yeah. And like I say, I don't bring up the name, but everybody know Wayne Williams. Please. But I was doing a story with I think it might have been somebody with Sonya Moore, somebody with the AJC one time, and we was I know Sonya. She's good people, and I was doing a story, and they called me one morning. I was headed to work. I was at work, and they called me and they asked me. They say Wayne Williams is on Frank Skin Wonder, and he just said that he produced the first rapper in Atlanta, Mojo. What? And I said.
No, this the guy who was doing the missing and murder children.
Wayne Williams, who was
convicted. They convicted him.
And what the thing was, he was into music. Yeah. Yes, and he was carrying guys to the studio. And some of my friends went to the studio with him. Yeah. You know, I never don't have no recollection of being in the same room with him. Never. I'm sure he was, but I don't know. But he told the radio station that he produced the first record, and I had to clarify and say, no, I did not know him. I worked with somebody that knew him on another deal. And
that's right. I forgot he was said he was a music producer or something.
He would just take guys. He would go around to the talent shows and get guys and take them in the studio. Right. But I never did have any recollection. But Gino Jordan was the one that put my first song out. Bless his soul.
What was the record label? What was that?
It was Velvetone Records.
Velvetone.
And they was inside the San Souci.
Oh, wow.
In Midtown. So the people that was running the San Souci also was running Velvetone Records.
The San Souci was like a club that they used to advertise on AM radio.
Did live. We was the first radio station to go live. To have a live party.
Right. That's all I used to hear, man. The San Souci.
Live from the San Souci.
I was like, wow. I was a little kid.
Yeah, you had to be a kid then.
I was a kid, man. Oh, man. My mom used to drive that Cutlass Supreme, have it on WAOK. And they all used to talk
yeah.
about with the saying Susie, man. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I need to see
man.
what that's at, man.
Yeah, we had fun there, man. But yeah.
So that was a record label inside.
Well, the guy that was running, not the guy that owned it, Leon
Right,
ran it,
right,
but
okay.
Gino Jordan, he was the manager.
Already.
So he was doing running the San Susan, running the record company, everything.
Wow.
Right there, because we had an upstairs to the San Susan. We had an upstairs, and he would do all his business up there and
Man,
stuff.
who would have known that it was record labels in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, I mean,
Out of Atlanta, Georgia.
It wasn't nobody else. I mean, because Peebo, Cameo, SOS,
Right.
they was all signed to national. They all had national contracts. But for independent labels or
Right.
something like that,
Yeah.
no,
So did that label produce any other hip hop artists after you?
not hip hop artists. They did a few other groups after me, but and actually that song got, a lot of people don't know this, but that song got bought by Frills Records. They took that song and they took it nationally, and Frills Records is the one that put out Double Dutch Bus. They the one that did that. And they took the record and they did, so if you look on YouTube and you see Batman Let Mojo Handle, you'll see two labels. You'll see a Frills Records and you'll see a Velveton Records.
Right.
Now that was the problem with my next song, Jump Stomp and Twist. When it got hot and the people came calling for it,
Right.
they didn't let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, this was different management.
Yeah, no.
But they didn't let it go. As with Let Mojo Handle, they let it go. But with Jump Stomp and Twist, they didn't let it go. And that's why I got stuck.
So Batman, was that the name of the
First song, Let
the other
Mojo
MC
Handle.
that was on there? Because it was you and somebody else on that record, right?
Right.
Okay.
And it's how that happened was when I first did the song, when I first recorded it at Haywood, the song was called The Bat. And it was all about Batman.
Wow.
And one part of the song, I said, "Let Mojo handle it."
Yeah.
So when I took it to Gino for him to listen to it, say,
Yeah.
"Hey man, check this out. This is what I'm trying to do." And he listened to it and he said, "Let Mojo handle it." He was like, "Yeah, that stuck
it.
out." And he was like, "You need to change the name of this song to Let Mojo handle it."
Right.
So I went back in and I changed it to, instead of Batman, I changed to Batman Let Mojo handle it. Now the guy you talking about, Tricky Rick Austin.
Okay.
He used to be at Mr. V's Figure 8. He used to host that there with Casual Cal.
That's
He
another
played
club
Batman.
That was used to be on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
Promoting that shit like it wasn't nothing. Mr. V,
Mr. V.
Figure 8, oh man.
Yeah, well, that was
San
Camilton
Susie,
Road.
Camilton Road.
Camilton Road was
That was strip, man.
that was the old National. The way Old National is now, that's what Camilton Road. But
So was that guy from Atlanta? The other guy you said on the song with you?
no, he was from New York.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Tricky Rick. Tricky Rick Austin. He was from New York, and then I had another guy that's from Atlanta, Big Money. He played Robin. So Batman started the song out. Wait a minute, Commissioner Gordon, we tired of taking all these artists.
Right.
And then Robin came in. Robin came in, and he was like, "Yeah, do you remember when the Joker did this and the Joker did that? I'm tired of them." And then I come in. Well, all right, y'all get to stand aside. If you
let
want to
Mojo
quit,
handle it.
let Mojo handle it.
Yeah, wow. Man, then you had to dance with the stomp, jump, and twist too, bro. That was
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took off,
Awesome,
man.
bro.
It took off, man. That and like I say, that song was nationally
number
ready.
one in the
So did
country.
y'all get to
Yeah.
tour around with those songs
I mean, just
outside of the South?
no, I did not. Because anybody tell you that it was just nothing registered in Atlanta at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you was in Atlanta doing hip hop, trust me, you was just in Atlanta doing hip
Right,
hop.
true that.
You know, but I did spread outside of the city. I did go, all through Georgia, and then little spots here and there, and other little spots, but it didn't move. It didn't move because it just wasn't moving like that. It just wasn't happening.
Let me ask you one more.
Go ahead.
Then we go do
Learn the
that.
history over here.
When I say these names, you just tell me what come to your mind. Like Sammy Sam, Raheem the Dream. You know what I'm saying? Kilo, because evidently, apparently, they came after you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, did you check these guys out? Like, did you know them?
Yeah, Raheem, I knew Raheem because I used to throw parties in the early part of '82 when I was still a senior in high school. I was throwing parties at the edifice, and I called it Mojo's Disco Lounge. It's the old Ashby Theater.
Ashby Theater.
Yeah,
On
right
Ashby
there,
Street?
right there at the corner of Ashby and Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little building right there. They getting ready to restore it now.
Okay.
They in the middle of restoring it, but it
It
was
was on the same street where the train station is.
like if you go down from the train station and you
Yeah.
make that right on Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
You sit right there to the that
okay.
little building right there.
Oh.
The little building. There used to be a barber shop next to it.
Okay.
Many years ago.
Didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, but that's why I throw parties at, and I had people coming from. That's how I started getting popular, actually.
Throwing parties.
You know, I was throwing parties, and people would come from Decatur to the west side, and you know that was
That's
you know
low, yeah.
that was you know what I mean. That just didn't mix, man. Back
Right,
then,
right.
Folk coming from Decatur to the
Yeah,
west side,
east side to the west
you
side,
know.
yeah.
But they came, and of course we did have some fist fights.
Right.
You know, that's the way. We settled our differences
Yeah, back then,
back then, you
fist
know,
fight, yeah.
fist fight, you know. But people felt comfortable coming to Decatur, so that's how I really started getting known, you know, throughout Atlanta. Yeah. So Raheem dad was running the place, and one day, Raheem dad said, "Can you take my kids home around the corner?" And Raheem probably was 12, 13 years old. He was a young kid. Wouldn't think about music.
Right.
And I got him in the car with me, and I started beating on the steering wheel, and I was working on the song, and I was
Yeah.
beating on the steering wheel,
Yeah.
and rapping. And to this day, Raheem will tell you that same story.
Yeah,
He
Raheem.
never forgot that, man. He
That's
never
another
forgot
one of
that.
the Southern ATL MCs, man, like Raheem the Dream, like before we came out. You feel what I'm saying? Raheem the
Yeah,
Dream.
most beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And of course,
Eliminator.
yeah. And then like Sammy Sam,
Yeah.
he used to come to my parties that I had,
Wow.
but I didn't know him back then. But when I see him now, he'll tell me, "Mojo, I used to come to your parties, man. I used to come to your parties, man." You know. So Sammy Sam, yeah, and cause we had D-Rock, and then of course Kilo came out a little bit later.
D-Rock did that.
Yeah, who rock did yeah, D-Rock. That's my
Okay.
man. I you know, he I don't know how he kind of got, you know, lost in the shuffle, but I mean, that's my dude, man. You know,
Right.
that was a hot song, man.
Yeah, it
you know.
was. Yeah,
And
it
I
was.
try to keep him, you know, I mention him all the time, man.
Already.
Man,
Yeah.
so Sam, man, when he had that song about them kids, man.
Oh yeah.
Stepdad,
Yeah. He ain't my baby. He ain't my daddy.
Yeah.
I used to be in the zone. Like, am I really seeing this on TV? Dude off the hook, man.
Yeah,
Sammy
Sammy
Sam one.
Yeah, yeah.
He won the real one.
And you know, Sammy Sam was one of the first ones that really started like saying what he wanted to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, he the one, you know,
Yeah.
because even D-Rock, who rocked this MF?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
So I did not know they would not allow it until, well, and you said until like Luke won
Yeah,
his case.
once he won his
Where you can
case.
say what you want to
When
say
you
on
can say
records.
what you want to
I
say.
didn't know that was prohibiting people from doing that.
Oh yeah, man. See, that's why I come from the old school of writing.
Right.
I just never even. I mean, now let me just get it right. Now I'm not trying to say that I'm a saint.
For sure.
I grew up with Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? and I grew up with Richard Pryor.
Right.
And I would sit down and write his words out just so
Okay.
I could go around my friends and tell his jokes. You know what I mean? But that was far as it got with us with Richard
sure,
Pryor.
for
You know what I mean? They would let him do it, you know,
Right.
because you know, comedian whatever, because they had restrictions or whatever.
Sure,
but
yeah.
but far as music,
Yeah.
no. So I never even phantom writing a song. And man, I tell you, man, I heard a song yesterday on YouTube, man, and it came after one of my videos. I was finna share it with somebody, and I was trying to share it, and the next song came on, and it was a girl, man, and it
Foul
was,
mouth.
and it was, and I mean through the
Potty
whole song.
Pot mouth.
You know, I mean, I'm not, like I say, I don't
Yeah,
I don't
yeah. No, I see
tend to
where
be
you
a
coming
saint or
from.
none
Yeah,
of it, but I mean, but I just I don't know how to write songs like that.
No, that's kind of like how we was on the Face Records. We was like, damn, I don't even think we can really cuss on these. 'Cause that's why you didn't really hear that much that much vulgar type stuff on the records, because we didn't know, like, shit, man, they gonna be mad
Red
at us or something like
flag,
that. So yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah,
But
but
a lot of
like,
people was doing that though, kind of in the '90s outside of NWA.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like when they like actually go back to make the clean version, they would be creative and use different
words. Yeah.
And now it's like beep beep or reverse or something.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, boy. When I heard Luke, Two Live Crew, and NWA, I'm like, man, them niggas could really saying that shit for real. I'm like, oh, for real.
Yeah, man. They just told me you just got to put a parental warning on it, and boom,
that's what
man.
that was all about.
Yeah. That's how the parental warnings got on the labels. That's what the deal was. So you can do it, but you gotta put it. But it doesn't stop. But like I say, I don't condemn whatever. People got to live for them.
Right.
I live for me.
Nah, I get
You know what I mean? I mean, what?
That's real.
What you eat don't come out of me.
Real.
And vice versa.
That's real.
But that's just me.
Right.
And like I say, till I go away from here, I'm always be dancing, and I'm gonna be doing dance music.
Real.
So, man, I got a question for you. So by you being like one of the trailblazers here in Atlanta, one of the first, years later, right? You seeing the hip hop getting ready to rise up. Like, who was some of the artists or group where you was just like, whoa, they different, or these dudes, man, they it. Like, who kind of blew you away, like hearing some of the Atlanta artists?
Well, it was, it wasn't really like just blowing me away, like I say, of course it blew me away when Goodie Mob, got on the national scene. You know what I mean? I'm proud of those guys. You know what I mean? But all of us, it was me, okay, then Shadi came out. And then I was thinking about that earlier today, how I came out and nobody in Atlanta was trying to rap. Then all of a sudden people like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Shawty say, oh, I can do that. He come out. Raheem say, oh, I can do that too. He come out. Sammy saying, oh, I can do that too. D-Rock, oh, I can do that too. And and so everybody was just coming out, and it was just getting more and more popular. And him, me, little old Mojo, I just done got lost in the shuffle there, because it was just everybody was just taking off, And then of course when they changed it, when everybody started going gangster from LA, from the West Coast and West Coast gangster and the gangster, but then nobody want to hear what I had to say. Matter of fact, I had a song I called "Let That Go." I was like talking about the stuff you been put up. Oh boy, you better let that go.
Okay, see.
I was making songs like that, and I had a buddy that you tell me, say, man, you gotta stop doing, man. You can't. What you trying to save the world? You trying to save the world? That's how,
Like, what you doing?
Yeah, man. It's like you're too positive.
Right. Oh man, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're too positive, and you know that. I mean, you know that. I mean, bad news gets around the world before good news get his clothes on.
True that.
You know what I mean? So that we like a train wreck.
True that. Already.
But I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna give it 1,000. I really think you need to do that video, man.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
I'm telling you, as a DJ, I'm hearing everybody saying it's no good dance music in the club. You putting that video out, that's new to everybody again.
True that.
Watch everybody be on TikTok doing it, man.
True that, folks.
Singing it like
I agree.
It jam, man. Trust me.
Well, I got you wrote down. I got you wrote down, Pop. Hey, man, I'm so focused, and when I get tuned in on something, I stay tuned in on it. You know what I mean? I was telling my manager, about some other projects we was talking about, and I was like, I'm just so locked into what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't like to get too many things going on.
Yeah, I get it.
In my head. So I like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But I tell you, I never thought about that. From my old school song, I never thought about that. But that could be. I mean, the sky's the limit. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean,
for sure.
Once once your door's open, Khujo tell you, the sky's the limit.
True that.
Man, he dropped that thing with no expectations. Watch that part.
Hey,
I'm telling you, I hear the songs like all the younger kids, man. I'm 45, so the other younger DJ, man, they playing a lot of old music, and all the '70s and '80s music is coming back.
True
Right.
that.
I mean, of course, my new song, I just want my picture took. It's an old groove.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so
Yeah, it is.
and if you listen to the radio, you know, people don't listen to the radio, but I listen to it just to hear what's going on around the country.
Right.
And mostly every song is sampled from the '70s.
True that.
Right.
I mean, from Slipping in the Darkness
True
to,
that.
I mean, I listen to the radio and every song almost that's coming on is a sample from a song from the '70s.
All that California, man, it was straight sampling, man. Pete Parliament.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going crazy on that, bro. They
Yeah,
was
they-
James Brown. They was going crazy on it. New York was sampling James Brown's drum pattern, man, for forever.
Right. And then now, if you think about it, it became a little bit more easy because back in the day, you couldn't sample nobody's stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? They sue you.
Yeah, for sure.
Now they sue you, but they say we can work something out.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard Chuck D said he said the problem with sampling, he said when they did it, they put some more stuff on top of it.
So they can't catch.
So it wasn't really like you was massacring the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, exactly.
But
You
if
would
get somebody
recreate it,
that
yeah.
straight take the whole
The whole thing,
sample,
and you know it is
right,
that.
come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said that's kind of what De La Soul was going through because that stuff that they was doing, man, they was just straight just looping that stuff and just rapping over it.
Yeah,
You can't-
yeah.
Wu-Tang too, though.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I heard RZA said he got a long list email he got to go through to pay out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I mean, you know, like you say, they gonna come at you, you know, and then at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and they wanna make sure they get
That's real.
they piece of the
That's
pie,
real.
you know.
That's real.
And like you said, you're right now, because back in the day they would say, well, if you copy somebody's beat, if you left out one beat, then it wouldn't be they
It
beat.
ain't the original beat.
You know what I mean? I mean, just think about Planet Rock. Doom, doom,
Oh,
tut,
man.
doom, 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 doom.
Oh, man,
How many
that
people
was
know
every-
that?
boy, that
I
was-
mean, how many times that beat been?
Why? They massacred that.
You know what I mean?
Everybody got their beat.
Yeah, everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody
the
got.
same
And see, that's when we realized that you can't really sample a beat.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't.
Them drums gonna be.
Yeah, you can't
It's
sample
on so
a
many
beat.
drums, and it's gonna all get replayed.
Yeah, you can't re-sample. I mean, you can't sample. I mean, you can't. You know, a beat.
Right.
You know, they can't say, "Oh, you got my beat."
Right.
Unless it's something real like you were saying, Roxanne, boom, boom, bap, boom, boom. You know that's
Speaking of the sample, have anybody sampled your songs?
not to my knowledge.
We gotta talk there, man.
Not to my knowledge. I just signed a deal in London with the company out of London. They did a license deal with Jump Stomp and Twist.
Wow.
So Jump Stomp and Twist is now is on the market in London.
Oh man, awesome.
And I don't know how much they are pushing it. Soul Jazz Records. I don't know how they're pushing it, but it is on a compilation in London,
what's up.
and they have the rights to Jump Stomp and Twist.
Oh man.
Right now, I did a 5-year deal with them.
They love hip hop music, man.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, and by
They don't
understanding,
discriminate, bro.
it's I heard it's a total different vibe
Yeah,
over
bro,
there.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's you know,
like being-
it's like you ain't got to be the best. You ain't got to be the hottest thing.
Nah, if it sound good,
If
man,
it sound
they
good,
gonna
that's what I
move to
hear.
it, bro.
That's what I heard.
They gonna
That's
move
what I
to
heard.
it, man. They don't care nothing about that, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
make them damn, bro. That's gonna be one of their favorite songs, bro. They
Yeah.
gonna wear it out. They gonna
Yeah,
wear it
yeah,
out.
that's what I heard.
It's,
That's what
it's
I heard.
like it's like out there, man. They appreciate hip hop.
Of course.
Like the essence of hip hop.
Yeah.
They appreciate it.
Yeah.
China too.
Yeah.
Japan,
Well, people just want to have a good time.
True
You
that.
know, they just want. I mean, music is just like love. It's international.
Already.
It's an international language. You know.
Already. Man, we went to what was that? We went to Japan, but the whole crowd didn't know no English, bro.
They know no English.
But they
But they
felt
rock.
they felt what we were doing, bro. They were grooving to what we were doing, bro. They had a Japanese dude come up before us, man. I was like, God, what is this guy saying? And then we came up, man. They was grooving to it, bro. That the World Party album, man. They loved it, bro. They loved it, man.
Man, that's awesome, man. You know. And then, you know, like I say, when you was talking about all the rappers that came up, you know, and I say right today, man, all of us, man, from Pastor Troy, all of us, man, we we all like a big family.
True that.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean I can pick up the phone, call anybody, any of those guys. Kilo like my little brother. You know,
That's
I didn't
what's
get to meet Kilo till later in his career.
True
You know, I didn't know him when he was younger, but I got to meet him. And actually, he the one put the fire up under me when he brought me the song I got out now called Yeet. And he came up. He said, "Man, I wrote this song for you, man." And he took me in the studio. Come on, man.
Nice.
And he took me in the studio, told me how he wanted to, the rap to go, and he did his part, I did my part, and I just, at that point, man, it kind of like put a little fire up. I said, okay, might as well.
Flame,
yeah, man. I said, I like, why not, man? And then, of course, came the 50th year of hip hop.
Oh yeah,
And,
everybody asking that, right? Go ahead.
I'll go for it, man.
Man. So look, I'm gonna tell you, me as a fan, Atlanta, Georgia music, period, man. I had the NFL channel at that time, right? So they don't cut to the commercials. They show us in the stand and on the field.
Right.
And man, I knew that y'all was doing it. And I was like looking online like, oh my God.
That's a whole bunch, boy. I ain't even realize it was that many of us, bro.
Bro, listen. I was like, damn, I wish I could have. I would have held to something.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, that
man,
was.
when I tell you though, as a fan, man, I just thought that was like the dopest thing I ever seen, man.
Yeah.
Like the NFL, y'all franchise is recognizing
Right.
Atlanta or Georgia music.
Right.
Like, man, I was hitting my dudes up in Cleveland like, man, our team suck. Man. Forget the losses. We got some guys outside of Bone Thugs of Harmony, right? We got like, it's a group I'll be telling you about, Brothers of Struggle.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
And I wish like they would give these dudes their flowers, man.
Right.
Like,
And I'm gonna tell you how that happened in Atlanta.
How did you feel about it when you got that call when they was like, "Listen, we doing this. We gonna have you come out. We honor you." How did you feel when you got that call?
Well, I had heard that they was. I think Troy had told me. Pastor Troy told me that they was thinking about honoring us, but I hadn't got the call. And then my manager Pond, he wasn't my manager at the time, but he had talked to them because he was still working with Kilo. So he asked him. He said, "Y'all know Mojo?" And they was like, he like asked around, but somebody else had got wind of me. So when they finally got in touch with me, they got in touch with me, and it was definitely an honor. I mean, and because before that I had gotten the invitation to City Hall, which Khujo then was there with me.
That's right.
When we got the proclamation for the city.
That's right.
And then they had the 50th year anniversary at the Falcon game, and then in December I got summons to Fulton County, and they gave me a proclamation at Fulton County.
Yes, sir.
December 20th, Mojo Appreciation Day.
Appreciation Day. We heard that. Bye.
So that's what's so dope down here, man. Like I never seen it, and I'm just a fan and witnessing this, man. I just love seeing it, man. I'm like,
see, they just recently started doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing that music coincides with sports, because you got some young cats that's on the team, and you got some older cats on the team that still love music. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, y'all gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna have to intertwine the music with the sports, because it's already there. You feel what I'm saying? They was doing it in Memphis with Ball and G. You see what I'm saying? They started doing it in Miami with I think Trick or somebody down there doing it, but they started bringing people in for halftime. But once people started realizing that this was the 50th year anniversary of hip hop, because I didn't really know that it was the 50th year of hip hop until people start really talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So when folks start getting wind of it, I was like, hold on, shit. We got a hip hop culture down here too in Atlanta. Man, let's bring them all out, boy. Man, it was so many. I was like, golly.
Yeah, I don't know who idea that was, but we pulled it off though.
Yeah, bro. I was on the field and all that, bro.
And to go to show you that that's the way we are. I mean, Atlanta hip hop culture is, and I hope the younger generation, I hope they stay as tight knit, because we got a lot of people in our younger generation. Unfortunately, they want to be a rapper, but they want to gang bang.
True that.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
you know they want to mix it all together. You
Right,
know,
right.
And whereas Atlanta, most of us, so I can know from my time,
Right.
you know, to pretty much present. Well, I don't know a lot of the younger guys, but you know, some of them they. You know, just like I was intrigued when the guy Roddy Ricch came out with the song. Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Tell him the verse. Roddy Ricch on the box.
What
Remember that song on the box? That,
Yeah.
Roddy Ricch mentioned it.
Yeah, I got the Mojo deal and I'm trapping like the 80s.
Oh yeah, yes.
And you know,
That's a part
Wow.
and all the kids sing.
yeah, and you know the thing about that now I'm gonna tell you that I had a person. It was a Caucasian young girl came up to me. She said, "Mojo, I heard this song. They mentioned you." I said, "What?"
Wow.
I said, well, "How did it go?" Of course, she didn't have no rhythm, so she couldn't. She couldn't tell me. So then my niece and them called me. My niece and them called me a little while after that. Said, "Yeah, it's a song out," and they mentioned Mojo. So. I mean, by them mentioning Mojo, that don't mean nothing to me. I say he could be talking about anything.
Right,
You know what I mean? He
right.
just said Mojo. He's talking about there's a song out now that's hot. Got no Mojo. You know, so people can say that, but when he said Mojo in the 80s,
You already know.
you know what I mean?
Somebody told him, man. Somebody told him, man. Big brother probably told him.
Yeah.
Or he might be a avid
Hip-hop
hip-hop
head.
Yeah, because
head.
he's from California.
Yeah.
You know,
So
yeah. So he
Roddy
got
grew
his.
up, he came up under Nip.
Oh,
He was
okay.
doing some of the Nip songs.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, so that man, that right there, man, he was around some OGs, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And to me, I think like in hip hop sports, you need the veterans around. You know what I'm saying? It give it balance. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I
Right,
know
facts.
so many younger rappers that's younger than Joe that look up to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I be
Right.
seeing Don P. He be happy as hell every time.
That's
he
my
see
dude.
Mojo, man. And I'm like,
You got to know it, man. You got if you from Atlanta,
yeah.
you got to know that.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's a part of your history, your hip hop history. You got to know who first did it. You feel what I'm saying? And you
Right.
got to get it right, because, like you said, a lot of people just they didn't have it right, and you know you can't blame them, because if you don't know, you just don't know. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
you just don't know.
you got to get it right, man. Cause
Yeah.
I was on an interview with on LL Cool J, Rock the Bells, and I talked to Grandmaster Cass and a sister called MC Shy Rock with the Funky 4+1.
Yeah.
And I was just telling them, yo, we finna get a man. I was stoked this brother coming through.
Yeah.
I like, man, you know, I got a podcast show with my DJ Papi, and we about to get ready to interview Mojo, the first MC from Atlanta. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
See?
Okay. Oh, I hook you up with him. I hook you up with him. So I got some numbers for you, team. Got some numbers for you. They need to know this,
Yeah.
man. They need to know this.
Hey man, you know, and I appreciate, you know, when people like you guys, man, and you probably don't know good Khujo to this day, man. When I heard "Get Rich" to this, and I heard them boys say "jump, stump, twist with it."
Oh, that's backbone, bro.
They're backbone man with it.
Backbone, boy,
Man,
yeah.
that man just made my whole life, man. Back
Jump,
then, man.
stomp, twist with this.
Yeah.
Make them strap this at the club. Boy.
Yeah,
Damn,
hey,
oh,
man.
he killed that.
Yeah, man,
He killed
and
that, bro.
I never forget seeing Goodie on national TV. I forget what show they was on, but they did that song.
Yeah, we
man.
did.
And I forget what TV
It was
shit.
back when BET was running, man, and I think Sprite might have was doing something with BET there, because Backbone came with us, and we was doing that song.
I
man.
remember
He was
that,
out there
dude.
with him, boy. Yeah. Shout out to Backbone, man. Dig it up,
Backbone,
bro.
my
Yeah, man.
dude.
Front Street shouted, boy.
Yeah,
That
man.
one
But
dog.
you know, it's y'all, man. When you know, people like y'all that you know that I consider made it. You know what I mean? That you know, y'all made it out. Anytime you go national,
Right.
you've done it. You know, you've done a big thing.
True that.
I mean, but you know, I mean, just like you know, some people can, you know, probably could say, "Oh man, you know, they tried to label me as a one-hit wonder. You was a one-hit wonder." I said, "No, I had 2 hits."
Right.
Okay, how many you had? How many hits you had?
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
You kick that door down for a lot of people though.
Yeah, but see, I didn't, you know, like I say back then, you didn't look at that. You
No,
just,
that. You just
I'm
doing
saying,
music.
you just doing what you're doing, and then once the time passed by, you just go on. Cause you know, I went off into the private sector, you know, and because you know, I know, you know, and I say this because there's just so many people out here that's trying to rap, trying to, you know, everybody and their mama is in the music business right now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like everybody is trying to do it, and people just thinking that this is an easy business.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
People
right.
think I can just walk right into the music business.
Right,
I can just.
right,
It's tough, man.
It is, bro.
It's
It
tough,
is.
man. It's a tough gig, you know. And you know that's why I say it. I give all, you know, people that knocks the door down, like Khujo them, like Goodie Mob them, Outkast.
It was rough
You
in
know
New
what I
York,
mean?
bro.
Oh,
It
you
was
know.
rough in New York. I mean, even man, from 82 on up to like 95, they was still
They were
on
still
it, bro.
on it, man.
They
They
was
were
still
still
on
man.
it.
Listen, man. I will listen, man. I will tell you guys some stories, man. You
Oh,
know
yeah,
what I
we gotta
mean?
get him back,
Just one or two. Okay, I opened for Run DMC. Okay, when I opened for Run DMC at Lieber Ballroom first. Second time it was the VIP Lounge on Piedmont. So I'm in there. I ain't have no bodyguards, nothing like that. I'm
Right.
just Mojo. I'm opening the show.
Right.
And man, all these New York dudes crying, man. They came around me, man, and crowd. I mean, it was about 4 or 5 big dudes too. I probably didn't weigh but 140
What?
pounds.
Like you had some size on your back there.
You know,
though.
no,
Like-
man, I wasn't but
size
no,
on
I was
you.
a little dude, man. I was a little dude. If you look at my old pictures, yeah,
Okay.
I was probably 140 pounds soaking
Damn.
wet. 140,
Okay.
145.
Okay.
Soaking wet, man. All these dudes, all these New York dudes, man, you want to battle me? You think you can do this? You want to battle me? You want to
Wow.
battle? I mean, they was really up in my
Pressing
face,
you.
man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You
Wow,
know,
yeah.
I mean, they wasn't nice about it.
Whoa.
So they did not, just like you say, they was on that thing for a minute.
Right here.
And then I never forget, like I said, and I tell everybody, and they say it might have been some Atlanta people mixed into it, but I know it was the New York crew at the Fresh Festival when Casual Cab brought me out on the stage. I wasn't on the show, but Casual Cab brought me the first Fresh Festival. Casual said, "Yeah, I got Mojo in the house." And then all of a sudden, that little section, boo. And that little section right there, and I knew cause see all the New Yorkers guys came out because Run DMC, Houdini, LL, all them was on the
They
show.
were down.
It was all New York, so them New Yorkers they came to the
been
show.
down here.
You know what I mean? So they can't. Nobody can tell me that they wasn't the one that started that chant. You know what I mean? The little boo.
You know what?
You know.
Say that they a lot of MCs was moved down here in Atlanta around about that time in like the 80s, man, cause I ran into a couple of cats like, oh man, we been down here, man. We been down here since like
Houdini.
80 something.
I think Houdini. Yeah. That he moved
At
in.
one point, I think Public Enemy was down here too. You feel what I'm saying? Professor.
Oh yeah,
Professor
your boy. Yeah, Chuck. What the name? Not. Yeah, I know you talking about. From.
Professor Griff.
Yeah.
Professor Griff was down here, so man, they been migrating down here. So
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't
they
be
started
surprised.
coming here in the
I
70s.
wouldn't be surprised if
Oh,
they
they
moved
were
right there.
Man, listen, I was right in the middle of it, and I never forget Jam Master J. Jam Master J was on the stage setting up, and he heard it. He was right there with me when they went
Okay.
good. And Jam Master J came up to me backstage.
Wow.
After he come up, we backstage. Jam Master J came to me and he said, "Hey man, these niggas know you, don't they?" You know what I mean? So he kind of made it like a positive swing. I'm like, man, I
Okay.
just got booed.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Wow,
I didn't,
yeah.
and I didn't get booed. It ain't like I'm out there rapping and got booed.
Right.
I just said, "Hey,
Right.
Mojo in the house."
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I wouldn't. So that's why I knew that it had nothing to do with my craft
Right.
at the time.
Right.
It was just the
Right.
fact that I was from Atlanta.
Yeah. And you was on the stage with a whole bunch of New York folks.
Yeah, well, with a whole bunch of New York folk, man. Like I say, man, but Jam Master J, I never get bless his soul, man. He told me, he said, man, say these folk know you, man. You know, cause they didn't know me, they wouldn't have said.
They wouldn't bullshit.
They wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so damn much. I mean,
That's real.
he consoled me. He
That's
tried to
real.
console me.
That's
I ended up taking him back to his hotel room that night.
Yeah, he made you look at it from a whole different
He
perspective.
made me look at it, but it's still, you know, hey man, these folks done booed me,
Right.
man.
I remember we did a show one day, man. There was a whole crowd over here. They were just shooting birds. It was like, I'm like, Timo, you see they was shooting birds, right? I'm talking about a whole little crowd. So we got out the stage and we went to the crowd and say, man, what was up? Why y'all do it like that? It's like, that mean we like y'all. I'm like, man, get the hell out of here, man. They were like, but that mean we like y'all, man. We like y'all, man. I was like,
Man,
man,
you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like me, man. You ain't gotta like me, man.
Man,
You
shoot
know what I
birds
mean?
and everything,
Don't piss in my face and
They
tell
weren't saying F you, and then they were just. I was like, dang.
Man,
man.
I'm from. That look like y'all want to
Hey,
work.
boy, like they want to do something, bro.
Like I say, don't piss in my face and tell me it's raining.
Facts.
Hell, man.
Listen, man, we gonna need you for a part 2, man. Also, I just want to just let you know, and the people know, y'all make sure y'all tune in every Saturday to Showtime Radio.
Already,
We got a radio
that's fine.
station on iHeart,
Yeah.
Okay.
where I'm playing all the music, all new music, a couple old ones every blue moon I sprinkle in from
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the legacy artists.
True that.
You got something dope, and that's why I was thinking about the '70s thing.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, I'm like, a lot of stuff I just played last Saturday had 70 samples.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but yeah, man.
Well,
so,
my new joint. Well, I got a couple of new joints out, but my new one, the one Khujo was talking about,
Yeah, Want My Picture
I
Too.
just
want my picture too. That's a sample from the '80s,
okay.
from 1980.
Yeah.
That song was put out in '80.
Well, man, you make sure you send that to me, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can go ahead and
ASAP.
support it and
Appreciate
and
that.
Play it and the way I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna help some DJs out. It's a lot of DJs listening to the radio now. They
Help them out, bro.
They like, hey, bro, we hear you. We ain't heard them songs.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So man, so
It's-
yeah,
it's
you
just-
go and send me that, man. I'm gonna play
I
it in
appreciate
at the right
that,
spot,
Papi.
help them out.
Mhm.
But listen, we gonna go ahead and get about it, but we gonna need a part 2. We gonna need you to come back.
Okay, yeah, it ain't nothing but
That's story, bro.
Yeah,
it ain't. I mean, we just dipped our toe in it today,
Yeah,
man.
right.
But hey, but I appreciate you, man, and Khujo. No, I mean, and Khujo came up under one of my best friends.
Oh, man.
You know, when Khujo was working with the city
Yeah,
lifeguard,
lifeguard, bro.
I didn't even know that he worked with the guy that was best man when I got married.
Shout
So
out
it's
to
a
Harold,
small
bro.
world.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Harold,
shout
bro.
out to Harold. So you know, it's a small world, but you know, like I say, man, people like Goodie, man. They've always showed me nothing but respect, man. You
Got
know,
you.
and I appreciate it, man. Anytime they shout me out, you know, it's you know, I really look up to them. You know, even though you know they're younger than me, you know, but I respect what they've done and they have accomplished being from Atlanta. And just like they said, when they went out there, you know, when they went up top, you know, it was still pressure. It was still,
Yeah, pressure,
you know, the pressure cooker was still going. You know,
sir.
when I saw them do what they
sir.
did to Outkast when they won the Source Award,
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
you know, that's when they said, "Hey, South got something to say."
We thought we were gonna have to fight everybody in there, bro.
You know, and this was the mid '90s.
Yeah. They were still on it, bro.
Yeah, man, they was
Still on
they was still on it, man. But
I remember that like yesterday.
But it was other people that was showing love, man. It was
Okay.
it was just the booze was louder than the
Yeah.
than the,
Yeah. And then that's the way it goes,
The
man.
booze was louder.
Yeah,
man. But
that's
it's-
the way it
it's a
goes,
lot of
man.
a lot of people from up top definitely respect our craft down here in the South.
Yeah,
man.
but when you know, but people don't realize, man, that as an artist, man, you know, and that's why I always say if you're in the music business, you gotta have tough skin,
True
man.
that. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because number one, everybody ain't gonna like
True
you.
that.
Everybody ain't gonna like your music.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, some people gonna say throw that in the trash.
Already. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some people that love it, though.
Yeah, gonna be some people that.
Just throw it out, let it stick.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
don't get you.
yeah.
don't get
But you know, sometimes you know, as human nature, you know, we focus on the negative. You know, we can have 100 people that say, "Hey man, I like your stuff," and have one person say that
person
ain't,
say that.
and you'll
That's
think
all.
about that the whole night. This one person that said that, and you think about that negative comment for the whole night,
That's
man.
real.
And you know, a lot of people, you know, famous people, they deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
deal with that. They don't, they know they famous, but let somebody say something negative, that gets to them.
Yeah, think about that.
It gets personal,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But that's just gotta have tough skin. But like I said, I'm just a phone call away, man. I
Already.
appreciate
got
y'all.
you. Got you locked
Goodie,
in.
Goodie Mug, Khujo,
Yeah.
DJ Papi. Welcome to Atlanta.
Already.
Hey, man.
I'm glad you come out that cold weather.
Oh, listen. Hey, the other day, man, I think it was only 50 the other day.
That's good.
And that's usually like warm to us. I came outside like, woo, it's a little brisk. I told my wife, I said, man, I think I'm getting used to this down here.
Yeah, if you make it through January, man,
yeah,
usually it's
you
like
good.
being on the beach then.
That's right.
But big shout out to my management man, Big Pun.
Big pun.
Big shout out to King Easy, one of our yeah.
Florida boys out there. Listen, Mojo, man, let the people know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, man. I'm on Instagram, and you know, I know you said something about you was the last person to get on social media. I'm the last person to get on the social media because I didn't come to social media till 2019. Yeah.
2015, 2016.
Yeah, and then I had to learn how to use Facebook. So it was Facebooking for a few years, and I'm just kind of learning my way around Instagram, you know, for the last couple of years or so. But you can find me on Instagram at Mojo Handle It.
Already.
That's it, Mojo Handle It. And of course on Facebook they got my government name, which is Edwin Lyons.
Okay.
You know, so you can find me there on Facebook, but of course, I stay full on Facebook because they only let you have 5,000 followers. So I probably got 5,000 waiting on Facebook, you know. But and of course, Instagram's a little bit, you know, works a little bit differently, you know. But Instagram, Mojo Handle It.
Hey Joe, let them know they can find you, man.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. Already, what's happening?
Yeah.
Hey, you already know, man. Yo, man, check me out on Instagram, man. Khujo. That's Khujo Goodie. And subscribe to my YouTube page, man. Khujo Goodie Zone 1. And I'm TikToking too, man. Khujo Goodie ATL. Holla at your kinfolk. Yeah.
And y'all can find me at 216 DJ PAPI on all platforms. And we out. Peace.
We out.
It's showtime. You can get this work. It's showtime. No more lip service. It's time to make it happen. Gun club, Goodie, pimpin' them head to tail captain. Papi got it slapping like a wild beast.